Good morning, students. Good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
See the screen. Is it visible? Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I hope first problem, second problem, and fourth problem we did. Check it once. First problem we did 15% of the females. The second problem, fourth problem we did scooters problem.
No, ma'am.
Only first two
No,
problems
ma'am.
we did.
Yes, ma'am.
Fourth problem, please check it out. A company has two plans to manufacture scooters. नहीं किया क्या?
No, ma'am. We started fifth one.
Pardon me?
Ma'am, we started fifth one.
Okay. We did fifth one. First, second, and fifth we did. Okay. Right now we will see the fourth problem. Go through the fourth problem, everyone. Everybody read the problem. Here two plants were there. Two plants for manufacturing scooters. Okay. Then scooter is rated as a standard quality or better. That means we have to identify the events here. We have to identify the events. Okay, then we will write this way. Scooter manufactured by plant 1. Plant 1, that's why I will take that as P1. Your wish, any alphabet you can take. It is not mandatory. You have to take P1 only. You want to take A, B, C, D, you can take it. Okay. First, I am taking P1, that is scooter. Scooter manufactured by plant 1. That is common sentence. Event that the scooter manufactured. Event, that is a common word. Scooter manufactured by plant 1. Similarly, plant 2 also manufactures scooters. Scooter manufactured by plant 2. Then another event is scooter is rated as a standard quality or better. Shall we take S, or if you want to take better, B, your wish, that is. Okay, scooter rated as standard quality. Okay, right now we have identified the events, correct? Go through the sentences. Plant 1 manufactures 80% of the scooters. That means probability of P1 becomes 80%. Probability of P2, what they have given? 20%, that is 0.20. Then what is given? Next, read the sentence. 80% and 20%. After that, at plant 1, initially which event happened? At plant 1, 85 out of 100 scooters are rated standard quality or better. That means which event happened earlier? Plant 1 has happened earlier. Is the scooter is rated as standard quality. Here I am taking it as S. Okay. Then how much? Out of 185, correct? That is 0.85. Similarly, 65% is considered from plant 2. Which event happened earlier? Plant 2. Then it is of standard quality. That is 65 out of 100. That means 0.65. 0.65. Directly coming to the bit, that is scooter selected at random. Scooter selected at random came from plant 1. Came from plant 1. If it is known that it is of standard quality, they ask this. Then by using Bayes theorem, some students asked yesterday, ma'am, we will apply the conditional probability. Conditional, if you apply conditional probability also, you will get the same. Okay, later I will explain. Let me complete Bayes theorem. Then by using Bayes theorem, what we have to write? Bayes theorem. Numerator becomes denominator, denominator becomes numerator. Then write down first S given P1 into which event happened here plant 1, probability of plant. Here, how many plants? 2 plants. That's why summation I running from 1 to 2. Remember the definition. You have to remember the statement of Bayes theorem. Summation I running from 1 to n. Here, how many events we are having? Plant 1 and plant 2. That's why it becomes a summation I running from 1 to n. Numerator will come as it is. How it comes? Probability of Pi into probability of S given Pi upon summation I running from 1 to 2 because only 2 plants. Probability of Pi into probability of S given Pi. Numerator you will write as it is, but how many events in this particular problem? 2 events. Summation I running from 1 to 2. Right now substitute I is equal to 1. What we will get? Probability of P1 into probability of S given P1 plus substitute I is equal to 2. Probability of P2 into probability of S given P2. समझ रहे ना? Any query? Any query? Okay. Right now.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, can you please explain one more time?
Okay. Bayes theorem from starting onwards. Okay, scooter manufacturer.
Yes, ma'am.
It is given as 80%, that is 0.80. Scooter manufactured by plant 2, that is given as 20%. Okay, at plant 1, okay, scooter is rated as standard quality. Plant 1, 85 out of 100. Which event has happened earlier? P1 has happened earlier. It comes in the denominator according to the conditional probability, right? Correct, na? Conditional probability, how we wrote? Probability of A given B. If you write this way, which event happened earlier? B. Probability of B, probability of A intersection B. Right now we are writing this format. Which event happened earlier? That we are writing. Plant 1 has happened earlier. Plant 1 is rated the scooters as standard quality. But at plant 1, 85 out of 100, that means we will get 0.85. Similarly, plant 2 manufactures 65%, that is 0.65, which happened earlier P2. Okay, then. First bit, what they asked, scooter selected at random came from plant 1. It has come from plant 1 if it is known that it is of standard quality. Okay, in this case, we will apply both the Bayes theorem as well as conditional probability. Instead of going for conditional probability, better to go for Bayes theorem. Okay, Bayes theorem is nothing but inverse of conditional probability. That's why we will write numerator into denominator, denominator into numerator. Then we will write here S given P1. Which event happened earlier? P1. This, what is the formula for Bayes theorem? EI given A we have taken. A is in conjunction with one of the n mutually exclusive events. Here the same we are applying for plants problem. That is probability of Pi into probability of S given Pi. What I told, write down whatever the numerator you are getting, you write down as it is. But here you have identified how many plants? 2 plants. That's why it is summation I running from 1 to 2. Right now substitute the value I running from 1. Then we will get this value. Substitute I value as 2. Then you will get this value. Right now clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Right now substitute the values. Means I don't know, means आप लोग भी questions कुछ नहीं पूछ रहे. Means even whether you don't have, means 2 things happens if you are not asking. Entire thing you are getting. Otherwise, okay. The other way, something you are getting but not fully. What to understand? समझ रहे क्या सब subject? शिवानी is not there. शिवानी के अलावा कोई नहीं बोलता आपका बैच
Yes, ma'am.
शिवानी
Yes, ma'am.
probability of P1 is 0.80, probability of S given P1 is 0.85 upon, then numerator will come as it is 0.80 into 0.85. So many toppers from your batch. I heard Anupinda, Manasvi. Okay, so many toppers. Prachi Datta, but nobody is asking any doubt. I don't know the reason. Okay, probability of P2, that is 0.20 and 0.65. Then, okay, with calculator, calculate the value. Then you will get numerator value will get 0.68 upon denominator value you will get, that is 0.81. Final answer you will get, that is 0.84. Maybe minor variation if you take 3 digits. Getting same value. Simultaneously keep the calculators with you. Simultaneously solve. Then here we didn't ask the second question. If scooter is selected at random, came from plant 2. Okay, if you are confident about your answer, directly you can write probability of P2 given S is equal to 1 minus 0.84. You can write directly. Then you will get this value as 0.16. If you are not confident enough, whether you got the right answer or wrong answer, you are not confident about whatever the answer you got, then here I didn't ask, but if they will ask, then how to solve. P2 given as same. Okay, then inverse of conditional probability, that is S given P2. Which event happened earlier? Plant 2. Again same. Denominator term will come as it is, whatever it is, whether it is 3 events, whether it is 2 events. If you want to write earlier this, you can write S given P2, remaining is plant 1. That's why probability of P1 into probability of S given P1. Right now substitute those values, 0.20 into 0.65 upon, this value remains the same because 0.81 you have calculated, 0.81. Then we will get this value as 0.16. 0.84 plus 0.16 is equal to 1. That means whatever the procedure you have opted is correct. Clear? Yesterday we did this problem, in between it was interrupted. Fifth problem complete किया क्या हम लोग? Students?
Yes, ma'am.
मैम आपने बोला
Complete
था कि
किया
बाय
है.
Complete किया ना? Very good, Amrita. Okay. Then right now means two events.
Excuse me, ma'am.
हाँ.
मैम आप बोल रहे थे आप कुछ बायनॉमियल्स का कुछ सिखाने वाले करके.
Okay. ठीक है. Let me complete one more problem. Okay. Then thank you for reminding me. How much time is left? We will do this problem, then okay. We will do one problem is of 3 variables, then we will discuss. Is it okay? Then compared to 8th problem, 9th problem is very important. Read the 9th problem. After that I will explain what is binomial distribution and all. Read 9th problem, everybody. Ninth problem is very important for final examination point of view. I told earlier it was existed in the syllabus before 2013, that is 2012 pattern, 2008 pattern, 2005 pattern and 2002 pattern. That was the subject name was statistical quantitative methods. They used to give this for 10 marks. If it is of 3 variables, the question used to come for 10 marks. If the events is of 2, then they used to ask for 5 marks. But most of the time, Bayes theorem comes in the final examination. That's why you have to concentrate more on Bayes theorem, because they had introduced this time in decision science. Okay. Everybody read the problem? Then identify the events, students. Identify the events. Identify the events. Okay, here what is given? Bolts are manufactured by machines A, B and C. Okay, here you can take first event as bolt is manufactured by machine A, that is consider it as B1. Bolt is manufactured by machine B, consider it as B2. Bolt is manufactured by machine C, consider it as B3. Okay, then here B1, B2, B3 are mutually exclusive and exhaustive events. Okay, we have to apply the Bayes theorem. The corresponding value is also given. Okay, if it is machine A, 25%, if it is of machine B, 35%, if it is of machine C, it is 40%. Direct probabilities are given for B1, B2, B3. Then what is given? 5, 4 and 2% are defective bolts. Okay, a bolt is drawn at random from the product and is found to be defective. That means here we know that probability that the bolt is drawn defective, given that it is manufactured by machine A. It is manufactured by machine A. Then we have to write down that. Write down. Steps are important, I told you. Let B1. What is B1? The bolt is manufactured by machine A. Similarly, B2, the bolt is manufactured by machine B. Similarly, B3, the bolt is manufactured by machine C. Okay. Then defective, shall we consider it as D? Defective item, we will consider it as D. Then D, we will represent the event that is defective. Right now, what is given? We will write down. What is given? Probability of B1. How much percent? It's 25%, that is 0.25. Then probability of B2 is given, that is 35%, that is 0.35. Probability of B3 is given as 40%, that is 0.40. Then, okay, from machine A, the defective item, that means which event happened earlier? A. From machine A, how many defectives? 5% of defectives. That means 0.08. Machine B1 we have to take here. Okay. Machine A produces defective items. How many percent defective items? 5%. Similarly, machine B, that is B2 we have represented, produces defectives. How much percent? It is given as 4%, that is 0.04. Similarly, probability that machine C, that is B3, we have considered the event as B3, produces defective items. How many defective items? It's 2%, that is 0.02. Till here, I hope everybody understood how to solve this problem. Any query, students? Here, machine A produces defective items. That means which event happened earlier? Machine A, we have represented it as B1. Then B1 has happened earlier. Machine A produces defective items. Machine B produces defective items. Machine C produces defective items. Then what they asked? What is the probability that it is manufactured by machine B? Correct? Machine B. That means what they asked? B2, machine B is B2, produces defective item. That is equal to, here again, inverse probability, probability of D given B2, which event happened earlier, that is B2. That means machine B, they asked. Here how many events? Here 3. That means summation I running from 1 to 3. That means here what we will get? Probability of B1 into probability of D given B1 plus probability of B2 into probability of D given B2 plus probability of B3 into probability of D given B3. You know the values, substitute those values. Again, I am repeating, this is important. Direct 10 marks question for final examination. Concentrate on these type of problems for 10 marks. Here, A, B, C manufactures, okay, 25%, 35% and 40% of total. Okay, 5%, 4%, 2% are known to be defective bolts. A bolt is drawn at random from the product and is found to be defective. What is the probability that it was manufactured by machine B? They asked. Okay, here first what we have to write, you have to identify the events, because here 3 events, that is machines A, B and C. Okay, bolts manufactured by machine A, that's why we have considered the event name as B1. Bolt manufactured by machine B, that's why we are considering it as B2. Machine C manufactures bolts, that is considering as B3 bolts. Okay, B1, B2, B3. Corresponding percentages is given in the problem. For machine A 25%, for machine B 35%, for machine C 40%. That's why 0.25, 0.35 and 0.4. Then of their outputs, some percent are defective bolts. Okay, defective bolts. Defective bolts we are representing it as D. Okay, if it is defective bolts happen from machine A, that means which event happened? B1 has happened earlier, then defective. 5%. Similarly, from machine B, some defective items, that is 4%. Similarly, from machine C, some defective items, 0.02. After that, what is the probability that it is manufactured by the machine B? Okay, then machine B we have considered as B2, then such that it is D, defective item. By using Bayes theorem, okay, Bayes theorem is nothing but inverse of conditional probability. Numerator will become denominator, denominator will become numerator. Here we wrote that. Which event happened earlier? Machine B. That's why probability of B2. Here what we will get according to the Bayes theorem, summation I running from 1 to 3 we used to get, correct? Here because 3 machines were there. Then probability of B1 into D given B1 plus probability of B2 into D given B2. Probability of B3 into D given B3. Right now you know all the values. Yes. Substitute in the formula. Substitute in the formula. 0.35 into probability of D given B2, the value is 0.04 upon, I will give you shortcut method also for this, how to solve in the final examination. 0.25 into 0.05 plus 0.35, just in the formula substitute the values, whatever the values you got. 0.04 plus 0.40 into D given B3, that is 0.02. Then this value you will get, numerator value you will get 0.0140 numerator value upon, okay, use calculator, electronic calculator by using memory plus, okay, then you will get this value as 0.0345, 0.0345. Then if you want to convert this into fractions, you can convert, decimals cancel it, then 140 upon 345 you can convert if you want. Otherwise you can keep it in decimals only, that is 0.41. That means 41% effectives from machine B is producing those many. That means they were not applying Six Sigma limits for improvement of the quality. Students, any doubt? Shall I go for a shortcut?
Yes, ma'am.
But if you use shortcut, you have to write down the steps properly, okay? This is easiest method. Instead of writing these many steps, shortcut this is for verification. Okay. Here, machine A, B, C are there, correct? Na? Machine A, B, C manufactures bolts. Okay. Here, directly what I am writing here, listen carefully. EI, I am writing. EI. Here, how many machines? 3 machines. Directly write down I running from 1 to 3. That is EI. I running from 1 to 3. E1 for our understanding purpose, machine A. For E2, machine B. For C, machine. For E3, machine C. Write down one step. Let E1, write down one step. Let E1, E2 and E3 denote that the events that the bolt is selected at random is manufactured by the machines A, B and C. Again I am repeating. Let capital E1, E2, E3 denote the events that the bolt selected at random is manufactured by the machines A, B and C. Then here in the given problem defective item is there, okay? In the given problem write down and let E denote the event that is defective. Let E denote the event that it is defective. Okay. Right now, I running from 1 to 3. That means whatever the corresponding percentages they have given, you have to write. What are those percentages? Manufactures. Machine A manufactures 25%. Machine B manufactures how much percent? 35%. Machine C manufactures how much percent? 40%. Here we will write down the total. Then total should be strictly equal to 1. After that, okay, machine A, listen carefully, only 2 steps problem only this way if you will solve. Okay, machine A produces defective items as well as B and C. That means which event happened earlier? EI has happened earlier. And we are representing your capital E as a defective item. Capital E as defective item. That is E given EI. For machine A, how much percent? 5%. For machine A, how much percent? 5%. For machine B, how much percent? 4%. For machine C, how much percent? 2%. Okay, then combine, multiply these two parameters. Here, whenever you are representing in terms of 0.25, that means this we call as set function of probability. This also called as set function of probability. Right now, multiply this probability of EI into probability of E given EI. Multiply these two values. Multiply these two values, you will get 0.0125. You have to multiply 0.25 into 0.05. Similarly, multiply 0.35 into 0.04. You will get this value as 0.0140. Similarly, multiply 0.40 into 0.02. Here you will get this value as 0.0080. 0080. You total it, then you will get, you add these three values, then you will get this value as 0.0345. Okay. Right now what they asked, for machine B, they asked for machine B. That means E given. Okay? E to given E. What is the formula? Directly you can write down here. What is the formula? 0.0140. Already you have calculated the total. 0.0345 for machine B. Corresponding value divided by total. If it is of machine A, what is the value? 0.0125 upon what is the total? 0.0345. Okay? If it is of machine C, 0.0080 upon 0.0345. Write down all the values. This value will get 0.36. Already you have done this. We have done this, right? That is B earlier. We got this value as 0.41. If you add these two, you can subtract from 1 minus, otherwise you calculate the value 0.23. If you add this, are you able to get 1? Yes. Again, I am repeating. This is easiest way for verification instead of writing story. Listen, machines A, B and C are given. Then write down the corresponding probabilities. Just to go through 1 second. Day before yesterday also I forgot to take the attendance. I will take the attendance. Just to go through the calculation, I will explain. Strength is deteriorating, I don't know. Okay. It is easy compared to earlier way, correct na? Just whatever the given, machine A it is 25, machine B 35, machine C 40. Just we are representing that as E1, E2, E3. Then here 5% defectives produced from machine A, produced from machine B, 4% and 2%, and 2%. Okay, then here whatever the values you are having, you have to multiply. Whatever the value here you wrote, you have to write down the reverse, correct na? Into this. Then multiply these two, multiply these two, multiply these two. Then finally add these three values, then you will get certain total. If they will ask in the final examination, machine A, whatever the value you got here upon 0.035. If you got for machine B, then this value upon total. If it is of machine C, this value upon this value. If you add this, you will get 1. That means whatever the problem you did is correct. You will get 10 marks in the final examination. But whatever the note, first 2 lines I told, E1, E2, E3, denotes whatever the events, machine A, B, C, and E we are considering as the defective item that you should write in a proper way. Understood? Students, समझ में आया?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This is easy compared to earlier.
Yes, ma'am.
But that the first two sentences you have to mention, otherwise the external doesn't know which event you have considered as machine A. That's why within brackets also we have mentioned. These things you have to mention clearly in the final examination. Then only you will get 10 marks. Instead of remembering all the formulas, directly write down the base theorem formula and directly write down this value. Means Monday's lecture I will take binomial then, okay?